Okay, so when you install the Git application, I mean the one that is on this, let me show you. Git. Oh, sorry about that. Not this one. Git. This one. When you download and install this one of the applications it creates for you, it's something that is called Git Bash. It can be found. Let me show you. I'm not able to show you the start menu from here, but this is basically the icon. Let me show you an image of this. This is basically the application that installs for you, so you can find it and open up. This Git Bash is a Unix command line tool. It's this one. So this tool is going to be helpful for creating for cloning the branches and creating the repositories and navigate through them and so on. You can also use PowerShell or the command line, because at the end, the Git command is installed in the path. So for this tutorial, I'm going to keep using this one. So, but at the end, if you would decide to use the command line or PowerShell, it's gonna be the same. So the first thing that we are going to do is this repository we just created, I'm going to clone it. So if I go here into the code button, you can see this clone, and you can use different clone mechanisms for doing that. In this case, the most common, I guess, is HTTPS. So I'm going to copy this one, and then using my Git Bash, I'm going to create the command clone. But as you can see, I don't still know where am I located at. So I'm going to move to the C directory, and inside of the C directory, I'm going to move. In this case, I'm going to use the temp folder. Inside the temp folder, if I remember correctly, I have a code folder. Yeah. So let me start this directory. All right. So as you can see, this directory is completely empty. Then I'm going to use the command git clone, and I'm going to paste the text. Oh, sorry. Let me paste this text here. Okay. And let me show you the directory also. I'm going to hit enter. And that's it. So as you can see, it says cloning for objects found, content. I mean, it provides a lot of some different information about what is in the remote repository and what is in the difference with the local repository, which is the delta, and how many objects we receive and many things like that. So if I go inside my sample repository, which is basically the same name of the remote repository, so this is what we consider the local repository. So inside of the bash, I'm going to go to that repository, my sample repository, and hit enter. So look at this one. It says I am in the main branch of this repository. So when you are inside of a branch, now you are able to perform some different commands. For example, I have the git status, which is going to tell me what is the difference between my remote branch and my local branch. So it says your branch is up to date, nothing to commit, working tree clean. So there is nothing at this moment. So let's do the change. Let's go inside my sample repository, and let's modify something on the README file. For this one, I'm going to use Notepad++, which is also a good tool that if you don't have it, maybe it's a good idea to consider. So my sample repository, this is a repository for testing purposes only. So if I go to this one here, you can see this is the text. I'm going to do another change. I'm going to say, hello world from readme.md. I'm going to save it. And I already changed my working area. So let's take a look in the status to see what are the differences. Oh, sorry, Git status. So as you can see, this is the file that I modified. Okay. Then it is telling you use git add file to update what will be committed. Use git restore to discard the changes. So it depends on what you want to do. I mean, you have the options to restore the file for modifying the changes. But in this is not the case. So in this case, I'm going to use git add, and then I can use with double quotes readme.md, and I can hit enter. But before doing that, I want to explain you something. Let's say, for example, you have modified 10 or 20 different files, and you don't want to go one by one because you know all the files need to be added. So in this case, I'm just going to click, I'm just going to add a period. That means git add everything that needs to be added. So I'm going to add it. Okay, and now I'm going to type git status again. And by the way, guys, another important thing to highlight is if you click on the up or down arrow, you are going to be able to visit or to put the commands you already used. So with this git status, do you see the difference? It was in red, now it is on green. That means readme is it's going to be moved to the local branch when you commit the code. So remember, we used to be in the working area according to the presentation. Let me move a little bit forward to that. This one. When we do the change, it automatically moves to the working area. So this working area has that change, but it is not staged to be placed into the local branch. So with the git add period, we said, okay, all the changes that are in the working area needs to be prepared for being moved to the local branch when you hit the command git commit. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to say git commit and -m because I want to include the message. I need to include the message. Actually, it's a must. So I'm going to say modifier readme.md file. And with this one, I'm going to hit enter. Okay. And that's it. Now, this code is in my local repository. Let me move this one a little bit. Now, the code that used to be in the working area is in the main local repository, but it is not still in the remote repository yet. If I refresh the screen, I'm going to see exactly the same information. But now, if I go and hit the git push command, these changes that are in the local repository are going to be moved to the remote repository. So let's do that. Git push, enter. Okay, permissions denied to this guy. Okay. What was the error? Okay, I think this is forbidden because I am using a different user. Give me 1 second. Okay, I already know what this error was. Basically, as you can see, I am connecting with a different user. In this case, is GDL MANUB. So I'm not the owner, or I'm not I'm not a collaborator of this repository. So what I had to do is going to the settings directory and then added myself, my other account, as a collaborator here. So this is something that I was mentioning about the security. So this is my other account of GitHub that I have. By the way, if you want to visit and see some of the public codes that I have, you are very welcome to do it. And then after I include myself as a collaborator, then I should be able to upload the changes. So to push the changes, sorry, let's talk properly about the using the Git environment, the Git language, sorry. So I'm going to click Git push and hit enter. Okay, so as you can see, now I have everything here, the delta. It says everything was correct, was from main to main. This is the commit, that was created. Every push, sorry, every commit has a commit ID. Let me show you right here. But before doing that, I'm going to refresh the screen. And look at this. Hello world from README MD.